bad folks go when they die. Don't go to heaven where the angels fly.
All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It's Saturday. Welcome to the weekend. It's a good week here in the cave. So much music. Blue Oyster Cult yesterday. Man, that was a lot. Still listening to those songs. So good. I didn't even talk enough about the song Godzilla. I didn't even mention Don't Fear the Reaper enough. And of course, I could have gone into this with that. But I didn't. You're welcome for that. What are we talking about today? I had so much material. I've got so much written down. And it just keeps changing. It's just the way it goes. Just the way this thing works up here. But first and foremost, today, it's a big deal today in Enfield, Connecticut music outlet. The legendary independent record store, owned and operated solely by Gary Cabot the Great, closing its doors today after 40 years in business. He says it's been longer than that, but as music outlet, 40 years. And this, those people who know, I was a retail mall record store employee, Record Town, for a few years, but I always wanted to work for an independent record store. And music outlet was where I wanted to be, and I got a job there in the early 90s and worked there for 3 years or so. But and that was amazing, so amazing. I have so much to say about that. But Gary, stand-up guy, very knowledgeable, even-keeled, very fair, just a really, really good guy. He just he's a little shy, but I can't say enough about my experience working there, the fans who buy music there. And we're going to talk more about that. I am trying to get him to do an episode with me. He originally said, not on camera, Mark. I think we're going to get there, though. We'll see. Gary, you can make it happen. But I'm hoping for an episode soon after the store closes so that we can cover and talk to Gary, the man, the myth, the legend himself, about the record store business. So anyway, cheers to Gary. After all these years, you deserve it. What are we talking about today? Well, I heard this song for like the second time in a month the other day, and I was like, oh, we haven't covered them in the cave. Let's do another band we haven't covered here in the cave, because there is still music we haven't covered here in the cave, even though I might have said otherwise. We're talking about the band Meat Puppets. The Meat Puppets formed in 1980. Phoenix, Arizona, not to be confused with the band earlier this week, Phoenix from Versailles, France. Kurt and Chris Kirkwood and Derek Bostrom. Arizona State students. They said they bought 2 houses next to it. I don't know how they got 2 houses in college, but one of them they used for their band. They were absolutely a punk band, for sure. Hardcore punk band. Signed to SST Records. Isn't that great? Bumper sticker. SST Records. Speaking of legendary punk label, when labels mattered, independent out of the LBC, Long Beach, California, home to bands like Husker Du, Minutemen, Sonic Youth, Dinosaur Jr., Bad Brains, Black Flag, of course. Kind of mentioned them. First album in 1982, but within a couple years they were sick of hardcore. I mean, so you think about Meat Puppets. I mean, first of all, the name of their band, Meat Puppets, it sounds like a hardcore band, right? But they were tired of that by 84. They wanted to do a 180 and be like country western acid rock. But they stayed on SST Records for a few more years, and then they did the same old thing where other bands do. They had to figure out if they wanted to sign to a major label, which they did. London Records in 92. Why? Because their favorite band started with London Records. And who was their favorite band? ZZ Top. By 1993, Kurt Cobain was a fan. He saw them play with Black Flag. So much so that he brought them on stage for an Unplugged session for MTV and had them play on 3 of their songs that he sang, including Lake of Fire. 5 months later, Kurt Cobain is dead. Lake of Fire, fan favorite. I love their version, his version of Lake of Fire, and that's the band that sang it, it's them playing on it. It's pretty amazing. Lake of Fire, Nirvana. We're going to post that below. Coming off the heels of that kind of exposure, they put out 1994's Too High to Die, and that has the song Backwater that I heard, and that went to number 47 on the Billboard charts, number 2 on the album rock charts, all over it. Speaking of 1994, this says 1994 all over it. The 3-song single also has White Sport Coat with They Might Be Giants singing backup on it, so you have to check that out. But Backwater is 1990, early 1990s alternative rock awesomeness, and that is your song of the day. Another 8-minute episode. That's just how we're going this week, people. We'll see what happens next week. But today it's Meat Puppets. It's Meat Puppets Saturday. Sit down, soak it in, enjoy it, and have a good one as we roll and keep rolling in the weekend. Are we going to have Slowdown Sunday? If we do have a Slowdown Sunday, it might be posted a little bit later on Sunday, but we're working on it. We're working on those Sundays. All right, enjoy Meat Puppets. Crank it up. Have a good one. And as usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.
There's something that'll never change.